this trainer was in the facility, right? And he touched Cam Newton. He went and he wrapped his ankle. Then he came to me. Then he went to
Yeah.
the other guy. So okay, this person was in contact or whatever. What if the trainer tests positive? Well, he
Yeah.
touched this person, this person, this person, this person. You know, and then they have their I'm not sure
God, whose
how.
job is it to track all that?
So there's a third party company called IQVIA that
Okay.
handles contact tracing
Okay.
for the NFL. Um, I'm not sure exactly what protocols they use for contact tracing. So normally close contact is defined by being within 6 feet for
Right.
at least 15 minutes. You know,
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah.
It's
So
just Among Us popped into my head for some reason. But yeah.
okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also players they're wearing tracking devices
Oh.
so that during games to see which close contacts they may have had during the games.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so they wear those for all team activities, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't know
That's.
who's
I mean.
JJ Watt, you know, tackled Derrick Henry,
Yeah. Right.
right? JJ Watt's positive. Oh, sorry, Derrick Henry. You're gonna, you know, JJ Watt didn't tackle the backup,
Right.
didn't tackle Dion Lewis, right? Because he was just no, not even. Man, I'm going previous years. Who's the backup on the
Uh,
Titans?
yeah. I
Bad
get
right
you.
now,
That's
but
actually really interesting. I did
yeah,
not
yeah. So this person never
know that
won
was
on
a
the
thing.
field. They weren't close to that
Right.
person,
Yeah.
But then you have to see what happens because the
The one person. The
Derrick
one person. The one
Derrick
person.
Henry's positive, and then he was hanging around in the running backs room with
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how some of that stuff goes. So I know that was pretty in depth, but that's something I think that's cool to
Yeah.
that applies to the real world a lot. The
Yeah.
rules are
Mm-hmm.
tweaked a little bit, but that should help some people with their understanding.
That was what I was asking questions that I even, not necessarily super NFL, but just as far as COVID stuff. But yeah, it is all very, very much connected. Like this is just something that's affecting, everybody in a lot of different ways. So it's good to talk about and really cool to have somebody that knows so much about it. I mean, that's you know, on the
It's cool for
forefront.
you.
Yeah. Didn't you just have a day off for some Indigenous Peoples Day or something?
Going 7 months strong. I worked right through it.
Well, let's see if we can bring a little like normalcy into our lives. Let's just talk about some normal injuries. How does that work? Is good
Da-da-ba-ba-ba.
segue?
Oh, I thought you were about to say, let's talk about some good things. Yeah, so we'll talk about some
No,
injuries,
some
right?
normal bad things, because that's what we all
Some
miss. We miss
normal
the
bad
normal
things.
bad things.
All right, so let's touch on first some pre-existing injuries,
Sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go with some players who have been out previously, right? They didn't get injured this week. You have some names that'll pop into your head, listeners over here, but
Mm-hmm.
some players that have already been out, and we're gonna exclude players that have been placed on like season ending IR, right?
Yeah,
So
like
we
it's
don't get to talk
yeah,
about Saquon,
yeah, yeah.
um,
I understand.
but
I let him go already.
um,
That's
but one of the other big picks, so Christian McCaffrey,
yeah,
right?
that's the one on my mind too. Mm-hmm.
He's somebody to note there.
Uh huh.
So he was out with a high ankle sprain, right? And they're saying that um what is it? I think Pro Football Doc. He's a great resource, and I think there's also I forget the website exactly, but something like profootballdoc.com or
Mm-hmm.
something. He goes from his experience and he looks at the replays and all the slow mos and everything, and then he kind of gives his diagnosis, prognosis, to what he thinks. He'll see
Yeah.
the injury and the reaction, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a high ankle sprain."
Uh huh.
Um, with McCaffrey, he had said initially, he's like, "Nah, this will be maybe like a couple weeks, you
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
of an injury here." And then that turned into they placed him on IR, right?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
something that's different this season is that they're short-term IR. So, or the short-term IR
Mm-hmm.
here is 3 weeks,
Okay.
and you can designate as many players as you want to
Yeah.
return, right?
Right.
So normally, I believe there's only 2 players that get to come back
Right.
from IR. So here, if you're on the 3 week IR, you just, yeah, sure,
Yeah,
you're
you're
gonna be
just
out for
chilling.
more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Go and rest.
Hmm.
Go and rest. So Christian McCaffrey looking like a 4 to 6 week injury.
Has he been out 2 weeks now or three?
This is
Two, right?
he got injured week 2. So
Okay.
this was his second week
Second
being
week out.
out,
Gotcha.
right? So he'll be out at least through week 5 here.
Okay.
Um, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
Probably targeting maybe like a week
Hmm.
7 return. Maybe we'll split
Yeah.
the difference there, right?
Yeah. I had.
Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
do a 5 week injury. So that's something that I'm sure
Yeah.
Jeremy or anybody that trades for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Right.
Jeremy, check your messages. Yeah, that's something that they'll be definitely glad to see. The number 1 overall draft pick in a lot
Yeah.
of leagues to be back into their lineup there.
Right. Which I guess, I mean, if, well, I don't know about Jeremy because he just got to 04 this week, but if you can hold out, and it's better for that player to be really recovered and then come back in strong for the rest of the season. Um, if you
Re-
can.
Remember that right there and say it again when I tell you to.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so
I think I know who you're getting at, right?
and then we get to somebody that has affected you. I know. I think this was your second round draft pick, if
Yeah.
I'm not
Uh huh.
mistaken.
Devonte Adams.
Devonte
Yeah, that
Adams,
was my
right?
second round.
So he's been out. Interestingly enough, with him, so he had a hamstring injury, and those you never know exactly how long those are gonna last.
Sure.
It can be like a little tweak, or and that's one of those injuries that you don't want to come back too early from.
Gotcha.
Also,
Hmm.
because you need it to let it heal, and if you don't, it's just gonna progressively get worse and worse.
Yeah.
Um, Recovery sucks for a hamstring injury.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
I injured my hamstring
so
once.
I believe he actually tweeted out, later got deleted,
Yeah.
says out for Monday Night Football.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm thinking of
Yeah,
a different tweet, I think. Didn't he tweet
and
like, I'm not coming back until I'm fully healthy or like till I feel 100%? Or was that a couple weeks ago?
I mean, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But anyway,
him
sorry.
saying
Yeah.
him saying, yeah, out for Monday Night Football. He had said that later. He says, I guess I wanted to be back, right?
Hmm.
When I was good and ready.
Yeah.
I know that I'm good and ready. Apparently, the team doesn't think so.
Oh.
So
Oh. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh huh.
Packers seem to handle the Falcons no problem there.
Right.
So, and then one of his backups, right, at Alan Lazard, who is
Yeah.
actually, starting to push his way forward over here.
Yeah.
He's out with core muscle surgery, looking
Oh.
like he's gonna be out about a month or so.
Hmm.
Um, any other people off the top of your head you'd like me to touch on? I know I
No.
got
Hold
Jimmy
up.
G, Raheem Mostert, so
Oh,
same team
Nick.
49ers over
Nick
here.
Chubb left the game this
Yeah,
week.
yeah, getting into that. So I
Oh,
guess
okay.
I
Okay.
was still looking at,
Sorry.
I
Sorry.
guess, players that have been out injured, right? So
Sure.
Jimmy
Sure.
G, Raheem
Okay.
Mostert,
I think that's
the past couple weeks,
that could
yeah,
be that could be coming
looks
back.
like
I think that's it, right?
looks like they may we're gonna keep them out. Looks like
Oh
maybe
yeah.
we're gonna keep them out. So this week, I think it does look like they're both going to be back.
Okay.
Um, it's been great for Jerick McKinnon over here. Guy sat out 2 straight years with uh, with bad injuries, after he got that nice contract here. So he's finally gotten to prove himself. I believe he has a touchdown in every game so far.
Nice.
So that's
Yeah.
that's good for him.
4, 3, and 2. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess people that have I guess I'm only going to touch on 2 names here that got injured this week. So we have, let's see, the first one that you mentioned right now, Nick
Mm-hmm.
Chubb, right?
It's a
So
pretty big one.
yeah, so they did place him on injured reserve. Again, only has to be 3 weeks.
Got it.
But that was due to a right MCL sprain. They're not sure, but the estimates are about 6 weeks of an
Mm.
injury that
Gotcha.
he's going to be out for, right? This I should have waited, but I'll go ahead and get into it right now. This affects somebody who was a little bit injured and a
Right.
previous week and did come back. And he had a great game. Again, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
So he was kind of injured. They say, "Oh no, Nick Chubb went down over here, and how is how's Kareem Hunt gonna handle his injury?" So he was dealing with a groin injury, also not a fun one. Um,
I'm
but
looking for him. Who has Kareem Hunt in
Matt
our league?
does.
Oh,
So he
okay.
went 11 for 71 and 2 touchdowns. Wasn't involved in the passing game at all, but I mean the Browns were just running up a storm. I think they ended with 304 yards on the ground there. So and he got into the end zone twice. So that was his third straight game with at least one score over there. Um, we'll skip back over to Austin Eckler, who
Right.
who has Austin Eckler? I am forgetting.
Search.
That is. I was like, I swear Matt had Austin Eckler. I was just looking at his team. Yeah, it is Matt.
Yeah.
So Austin Eckler, hamstring injury, looking like 4 to 6 weeks also right now. I don't think they have designated him for IR yet, but that might be something that you expect. They're saying it's a grade 2 strain. It's not looking good for him. Not like
Yeah.
Devonte Adams. Hey, I'm good to go. Just let me
Yeah.
loose. Um, and then what was that you said about not coming back from an injury too soon?
Yeah. I mean, I guess better to
Yeah,
have a player back for the whole season than to have him back for 1 or 2 weeks, right?
and that's from, I mean, a fantasy standpoint, of course, but this is a business, the NFL, right? A
Yeah.
real world standpoint, especially if you just
And better for the
spent a lot of
yeah.
money
Yeah.
getting
Right.
them a long-term contract over here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Better for the
George
player
Kittle,
too, whether they know it or not. I mean,
yeah, George Kittle had that hyperextended knee injury last year, and this guy's a monster. He like, nope, I'm good. Nope, I'm gonna play through it. I'm gonna play through it. And he wasn't completely himself. I mean, he put up his numbers still, but
yeah.
this year, this off season, they gave him a big contract. Let's let's let him sit, fully recover. So they gave him 2 weeks off. He comes back this last game here Sunday night, goes 15 receptions for 183 yards and a touchdown. Um, Almost got that Hail Mary at the end of the game too there. And an end around, one rush for 8 yards in the first game. So he has at least one rush in both of his games that he's played this year.
Okay.
Good for 24 points here. Um,
Yeah,
just
that's nice.
fantastic. I
Yeah.
was very happy with that.
Came back and beasted.
And I think that's all for injuries of note, recoveries
Yeah.
that I want to hit on, at least for now.
No, I think definitely the